Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're doing something a little different. Forget the heavy academic stuff for a moment.
Yeah, we're looking at a story about a dog, Luna, and her first real encounter with a mirror.
Right. And it sounds simple, maybe even a bit cute, but honestly, there are some surprising insights packed in there about self-perception.
Exactly. It's fascinating how this, seemingly straightforward story about an animal can actually tell us quite a bit about how we see ourselves. Fundamentals, really.
So our mission for this deep dive, let's unpack what Luna went through. What can her mirror moment maybe teach you about your own self-image?
Sounds good. Let's get into it.
Okay, so picture this. Luna, just being a dog, happy, hanging out, maybe a little bit bored after playing. And she spots it. This mirror, it's always been there, part of the furniture, but she's never really noticed it before.
And that's actually kind of important, isn't it? The fact that it was just background noise until now.
Yeah. Why is that?
Well, it kind of shows how our own internal state, like Luna being bored, can suddenly make ordinary things seem, significant. Makes you wonder what else we miss,
Huh. Good point. Okay, so she sees her reflection and her immediate reaction.
Barking. Confusion. She sees another dog, plain and simple.
Right. She treats it just like some strange dog wandered into her house.
Exactly. She's using her usual toolkit: sight, sound, smell. But the smell part is interesting. She sniffs the glass.
Yeah, she sniffs it.
And gets nothing. Just cool glass. No dog scent. That's a key piece of sensory info that just doesn't fit the other dog picture.
Ah, the first little bit of conflicting data.
Precisely. It starts this little puzzle in her head, even if she's not, consciously analyzing it like we would.
Okay, so the puzzle pieces start coming. She notices things, right? Like the white patch on her chest.
That lightning bolt shape, yeah. She sees it on the dog in the mirror.
And that little forehead wrinkle she gets when she's really focusing on something.
Mirrored right back at her.
Yeah.
These are like familiar landmarks. They start to subtly chip away at that initial stranger danger reaction. You can almost imagine her little dog brain going, wait a second.
It's like visual self-recognition 101.
Totally. And the synchronized tail wags, that's another big clue, a visual echo, and the boop she does on the glass.
Oh, yeah, the nose boop.
The reflection does it too, obviously.
Yeah.
It's this direct physical mirroring.
This is where it gets really fascinating, I think. There's this kind of internal jump.
Yeah.
It's almost like she has this thought, not in words, obviously, but something like, hang on, this dog does exactly what I do. Could this be how Sarah sees me?
Wow. Okay, so a connection between the image and her own sense of being. That's a pretty big cognitive leap.
It feels like it's like a fundamental connection, maybe the very start of self-awareness.
It certainly points that way. And look how the mirror's role changes for her then.
How so?
It stops being just, a shiny thing or a window with a confusing tag in it.
Yeah.
It becomes, a tool for looking at herself.
Ah, okay, so she starts noticing details.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, my ears look kind of short from this angle. Or, oops, is that kibble on my chin? Basic self-observation.
Triggered by the reflection, like visual feedback.
But it's not just critical stuff, is it? There's that moment of pride.
Oh, yeah. She sort of puffs herself up, seems to think, hey, I'm actually a very handsome dog.
Strong. Loyal. Check out these eyebrows.
Exactly. It's this little surge of, positive self-assessment.
Which is really interesting because it shows how seeing ourselves, even in this simple way, can tie into self-esteem. She sees herself, evaluates, and apparently likes what she sees.
Self-recognition linked to self-acceptance. I like that.
And then she starts experimenting, right? Posing, almost.
Totally. Tilting her head, letting her tongue loll out a bit, finding her best angles. It's quite endearing.
It is, but it also taps into something quite universal, doesn't it? That desire to, present ourselves well. Experimenting with her look.
For sure. And then the playfulness kicks in.
Ah, yes. She sees the reflection doing a playbow, chasing its tail.
Because she's doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But she interprets it as an invitation, like the other dog wants to play. It suggests she's projecting her own playful intentions onto the image.
Which leads to that amazing description, a dizzying display of canine silliness. Just pure, unadulterated fun with herself.
Running around, probably barking playfully, chasing her tail in circles with the mirror dog.
Until she's happily exhausted, panting, looking at the reflection with this new understanding.
Yeah, that line is great. A slightly goofy, incredibly beautiful, and ridiculously fun-loving dog.
I like that dog. Boom. Self-acceptance achieved.
It really is a lovely moment. And the key thing is, it's not just a one-off moment of curiosity that fades.
Right. The story says the mirror becomes something more for her, a portal to self-discovery, even a stage for silly performances.
That shows the lasting impact, doesn't it? How these moments of insight, of seeing ourselves differently, can actually shift our internal landscape.
And she keeps doing it, sneaking peeks later on, just to admire herself.
Maintaining that positive self-regard. It suggests the experience genuinely changed how she maybe feels about herself on some level.
So if we pull back a bit, what's the bigger takeaway here?
Well, I think Luna's little adventure, even though she's a dog, really highlights how our self-perception gets shaped. It happens through reflection, sometimes literal, like a mirror, sometimes metaphorical, like feedback from others.
So her experience kind of touches on these fundamental ways we all figure out who we are and what we think about ourselves.
Absolutely. It makes you ask, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What are the mirrors in our lives? What reflections are shaping how you see yourself right now?
Yeah, bringing it back to you, the listener. Luna's story is a neat little reminder, isn't it? That sometimes just encountering your reflection
Literally, or maybe figuratively, like hearing how someone else sees you.
can spark a whole new level of awareness about who you are. She got a new perspective. Maybe we can too.
Which leads to maybe a final thought for you to chew on. Can you think of a time when some kind of reflection, maybe an actual mirror, maybe a comment someone made, maybe seeing yourself in a photo or video, unexpectedly gave you a jolt, a new perspective on yourself?
What did you see in that moment? What suddenly became clearer about you?
It's just a reminder, really. Understanding ourselves, it's an ongoing journey, full of these unexpected turns.
And sometimes, yeah, all it takes is a slightly different angle or just a good, honest look, maybe even in a literal mirror, to find something really valuable.
Something new about yourself.
Well, thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.